Hello to everyone or anyone who's watching. We're sorry we're a little bit late. We had some technical difficulties. This is Amber and Jessica coming at you live for the Spark Building in the Open Huddle. So what we're going to do today is just kind of go through. We're just going to play, basically. That's what we're going to do. What we're going to do today is just kind of talk about ideas we have for nurturing community and building community, because that's sort of what we're all about right now. And this is super informal. So if you guys have questions or anything, feel free to chime in. And feel free to not laugh at us, because this is our first time doing it, just me and Jessie. So
laugh with us.
All right. Laugh with us. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, don't laugh at us, laugh with us, because we know this is ridiculous and it feels a little weird, but we're going to go with it because that's what building in the open is. Snaps. All right, so Jessie is the best, and she came up with all these awesome ideas of like ways you can build and nurture community. And since that's sort of our motto right now, we're going to just kind of talk about them and things that we like about each item. So the first one is creating a dedicated online forum. So basically establishing an online platform or discussion board where community members can interact, ask questions, and share insights. For me, I think like we do this already, especially with, hey, Grant's talking to us. Yeah, in the comments through LinkedIn. That's awesome. I feel like we're already kind of doing this with the office hours. Like us personally, I think we're kind of doing this well right now. I really like that we give our community multiple opportunities to connect with us, whether it be through a webinar or just something informal like this. They obviously know that they can connect with us via email or give us a call and stuff like that. But being able to have the like online sort of thing, like the different groups in Facebook and stuff like that, that aspect of it is really cool to me, just because we're connecting. Grant's watching us huddle and he's in Austin and we're both in Lakeland. So it's just amazing to me that you really can connect and build community with people, even if you're not like physically together. So I don't know, Jessie, what are your thoughts?
I think you're right. And then we do have our Facebook group, the goals and gratitude group. So I just want to find a better way to get people to interact there more.
Yeah. Well, and I think like we discussed doing Spark cohorts where we sort of host these different niches. And, you know, it could be influencer community. It could be, we talked about like some white collar jobs that we have just like a lot of people in that community, and actually just getting them together to talk to each other, not even necessarily us. I mean, we can definitely train and equip your community, but sometimes you just need to be with other people in that community. When I first started learning how to code and building websites, I didn't have a community. And so it was really frustrating because anything that I knew, I learned from YouTube videos or, you know, free courses or really inexpensive courses. And so there often wasn't the opportunity for feedback or anything like that. It was just sort of one-sided. And while I learned a lot, I really didn't start learning about websites until I became the intern at Spark. And then I had hands-on real experience working with Grant and Marissa. It was really cool in the beginning because I got the opportunity to learn from them both. And it was very clear, like Grant's very strong with clients and with communication and that kind of stuff. But with Marissa, I got to learn more about design and just like what makes a good website. And I don't think I would have gotten to here without that community of people. So it's super important for sure. Awesome. Cool. All right. What's the next one?
Recognize and reward contributions. So acknowledge and reward the community members who actively participate, share valuable insights, and help others. This could include badges, certificates, or even special perks. We have Giraffes Associates. They are recently super involved in our Facebook feed. Like they're liking all of our stuff. And I've noticed that Facebook like started sending out these badges. Like we got one for House 820. I guess like we just like their content, or, you know.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and I think that it is cute, and like it's just a simple little thing that like we could incorporate for certain clients that come to our events, or they shout us out a lot, or just show us love on social media. I just think it's like a cute little like thing that we could do somehow.
Yeah. I love that. And it's such a small detail, but like when you see something like that, you're like, oh, House 820, I love them. I'm so glad I get this badge. I think about our denim jackets. And one thing that our team is going to do to build our community is we are all in the process of acquiring a denim jacket that we can customize. So we're going to do all these fun patches, and like you could do pins. You know, there's so many things that we could do. And we talked about like the different things that we could get badges for. So like how much time you've been with Spark. Like I'm coming up on 3 years, Jessica's coming up on a year. You know, getting to celebrate those milestone moments, but then also like Jesse's been killing it with doing some sales calls and stuff like that. So she should definitely get a badge. And I think it just encourages us to continue our learnings and like what skills we have, but also in just like a fun, silly way. Like we're going to wear these denim jackets when we go to Catapult.
Yeah.
And people are going to be like, what the heck is this?
Yeah, it's like a conversation piece almost, you know, and people will be like, what, you know, what is that badge for? You know, what's all your flair? Tell me about it. And then
flair, yes. Because you know you've been to like an Applebee's or, you know, one of those places where they have like the pins or the flair or whatever, and you want to know more about it.
Yeah,
so,
I used to work at Hard Rock, and we had to have I think it's kind of like that. There was that show where like they had to have the flair. I forget. It had Jennifer Aniston in it. It was Office Space, I think. But anyways, yeah, there was like, oh well, we want you to have 10, but 25 is, you know, more, you know, more encouraged. And yeah, like we would just have them like decked out. And I got smart. I got a guitar strap. Instead of having to put all these pins on my outfit every day, I just decked out this guitar strap, and I just wore that every day. But yeah,
that's so smart.
But yeah, so that's fun.
I love that. It's like a Girl Scout badge, you know, like one of those. Like that's such a good idea. Yeah. So I mean, I think small little things really do encourage community the most. Like these things that we're talking about so far, having an online platform, that doesn't have to mean that you have some like an app or something insane. Like we are talking about using Facebook groups. That's something that's available to anyone and everyone in the entrepreneur community. So, you know, it's feasible for anyone at any level of business. And the same for, you know, doing the flair and things like that. It doesn't have to be pins. It could be virtual even. It doesn't have to be physical. When I worked for an insurance company like 5 years ago, they did stuff like that. We would get these virtual certificates, and then there was a place where you could go see your profile and see all of your badges. The only thing I didn't like is that there was no way for like you couldn't see what badges somebody else had. There was no way to like share in it. So to me, like there was a little piece missing from it. Because I think that's part of the fun and part of the community involvement, like in building something. So yeah, it doesn't have to be physical. It could be something small. It could be an email, you know? It doesn't have to be anything crazy. So I love that. All right. What's next? Gamify learning. So introduce gamification elements to make the learning process more engaging, implement points, levels, or challenges that encourage involvement and progress. Do you know who already does this amazingly? Deidre Daniel from the Interesting Conversations Company. So she is this awesome speaker, and she created this game during COVID. And she put this game out there, but she also had a developer create an interactive scorecard. And so when people are playing the game, they can go to her website and put in their email, and then they pull up the scorecard, and it basically keeps tracks of all the points. But also, like when someone loses a round, it plays fun music, or I think it plays fart sounds for something too. Like she's very big on her fart sounds. But I just think it's so genius. Like it's such a small thing, and it's very simple. Like it's an HTML document, and yeah, at the end you go through, and whoever wins, you can email yourself like a trophy at the end of it, and then like you have this cool trophy, and it's just an electronic thing. But yeah, I think that she already does this so well. Like, obviously her game is a game, but I feel like she takes it a step further with the scorecard, and it just makes it that much more interesting. And who doesn't love like the silly sounds, and there's like music at the end when you win and all that kind of stuff. So I think that is so cool.
Yeah, I think this is something that we could do, and like, I'm not sure how we would, figure out like how people would earn points. I'm sure we can come up with something fun, but to be able to be like, once you reach this level, this happens, or you earn this, or maybe they get to a certain level and like they get a jean jacket, and it's like, it's like the biggest thing.
I would love to do, and Grant will like probably laugh really hard at this, and my father-in-law too. I would love to do a training that was a game show. Like we set up a training, and we give my father-in-law the questions, and he customizes the whole thing, and people show up, and they're doing a training, but they're actually, and it's like I have thought about this before, but I've never really pitched it to either of them, because I want to have a more clear vision of like what they get out of it. Like the training has to make sense. But if we could gamify it, think of we had so much fun doing that mock game show. Like it was the best. So if we had the opportunity to like really do it, I think it could be so fun. And I love the idea of like, oh, if you get to a certain level, you get a jean jacket.
Yeah. Or something,
awesome.
Like something desirable, or they get like like a lunch date with the team. Like that would be fun. I think a lot of people would dig that.
Well, and that's like a community reward too. Like you're rewarding them with more community, and like ultimately that's what we want, is to spread community and make ours bigger. Amazing. All right, what else we got?
The next one on the list is collaborate with experts. Invite industry experts, thought leaders, or company representatives to share their expertise through guest lectures, interviews, and Q&A sessions. So this is something that that we've started doing, and that I'm excited that we plan to do more of.
Yeah. And this really goes into the cohorts, I think. That I loved that idea of just like a way to get these different communities that we know and love together. Yeah, it's just, community is awesome, guys. Like people are good.
Yeah, and I just love like learning from our clients, but also some of these other people out there, like in our tribe and our community, and just hearing what they do to build their community and to help others professionally and just as individuals personally is pretty interesting.
Yeah. Who in our community do you admire just for like how much they're involved? Is there anyone you can think of like who you really just think like they build community all the time?
On this topic, like somebody I'd really love to get in a room or on a platform with us would be probably Christina Madden. And their team, like I just listen to the things that they post, and I'm just like, wow, like I feel like I could learn so much from just like one meeting with them.
From ECU.
From ECU.
I love that you picked up on Christina Madden too, because obviously we know and love Tim Madden. I talked to him like an hour ago, which is so funny. But Christina, I'm so glad that we got to know more about her with that project that we just did for them. We basically created like a hype page for her, and I was so excited that they wanted to do kind of like a higher design. It was so fun, and they loved it. And they sent all these headshots. I don't know if you remember them. They sent all these headshots of Christina. She is literally just stunning. It just amazes me when people are both beautiful on the outside, but just crazy, amazing on the inside too. Like, just wow, amazed. That's awesome. I love that. I really think one group of people that I admire a lot. I'm glad you said House 820 because I was going to say the Bloom girls, Danielle and Catherine and Laura. They are, I feel like they just speak to a certain person who, a certain just like, I don't know. If you go on their Instagram feed and you read their posts, you want to be friends with them. Like you feel like you're their friend. They went live recently. Miguel! They went live recently, I think on like their Instagram. I saw that they went live to like do kind of a similar thing how like we do Ask Me Anything. I think that's sort of like the format that they were doing. I was so pumped to see them, and they were immaculately dressed, just, amazing. I mean, I know we have our matching polos and that's cute, but they were just like styling, and I just think their community is just a really fun one. I love being a part of it.
So cool. Did you watch their live? Did you get to see it?
I turned it on. I did turn it on for a minute and then I got distracted. I can't go on the apps I go squirrel so fast. Like my attention span is just nothing on the app. So I do want to go back and watch it and see, what they're talking about and everything. But
I need to go back and watch it because I hyped it and then I didn't watch it.
Well, Abdiel was in it and he had like these crazy cool shoes on or something. And I was just like too distracted by the shoes. And then I just like went on to the next thing. But cool. I feel like and I really love the language and the messaging with Bloom. Like it's always something fun. Like when the Forget Me Not package was first being discussed and going through development, obviously Forget Me Not is such a good name because it's a flower and because it's for people who forget their loved ones, birthdays or anniversaries or what have you. But in the beginning, it was actually called the Save Your Ass package. And I feel like that note needs to be somewhere on their like website when they tell people about it. Cause it's like, okay, Forget Me Not is so good, but also Save Your Ass is so good too. Like, I don't know. They're just like real. And it just reminds me of all my like farmer friends in Virginia that are just like so cute and just slinging flowers, but also just funny and amazing. And I love that they're not like, it's not all prim and proper and perfect. It's sort of like this fun, different vibe. So I really like that about them.
Very cool.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. So next we have sharing success stories. So showcasing real world success stories of community members who have benefited your training programs. This inspires others and demonstrates the values of your offerings. Yes. This is totally something that I can't wait for us to get further into. I'd love to get video testimonials from people who have either attended our webinars or our IRL events, or even people that just kind of hop in on these. I would love to get just feedback on how that's helped them and how that's shaped their community and how they build community. Yeah. Amazing. And also it really does make people want to do business with you. So Jesse always does a really great job asking people for reviews when we kind of like wrap up or complete a project. And I cry like every time we get one. And I cannot imagine like being someone who doesn't know Spark and being able to read those like just really awesome reviews. How could you not choose us? Like, people just have the greatest things to say, and
I know every time I get one, it's like a letter of recommendation or something. They're just so good. You're just like,
yes. There are times when I'm like, can I save this for my resume? Like, I know this isn't entirely like it's about the whole team and I'm just a portion, but like I impacted this, so I can put this on my resume, right?
Or at least like print it out and like get your markers out and like doodleify it. Yeah. And just like get it up on the wall somewhere.
That's a good idea. I feel like we should have hype walls. Like I need like a vision board, like a big cork board. And I'm just going to put like client reviews and like pictures of my favorite projects. That would be that's a good idea. Yeah. I like that.
I think you should do that. Yeah. I actually unintentionally prepared for that. I had this big whiteboard that was like the joke for a while, Jessie and her whiteboards, but it was right here in front of my window, and so I was just feeling cluttered. Like even my whiteboard's clean. I don't know if you noticed or not. The only thing on there is my KPI. And but I got rid of the whiteboard, so now I have this amazing light coming through this window now, and I don't feel like I'm just staring at a whiteboard, but it's up on the wall now. My husband put it up on the wall, and then I have this, it's like a 4x5 cork board up here too. So I think we should do that. Let's get these reviews out and get some printouts of the awesome projects we're completing. Get them up on the wall.
That's such a good idea. I was such a big like scrapbooker and all that stuff when I was a kid. Like I loved every time I went to something, my mom knew to buy me a disposable camera. Like I need to take pictures. I was always taking pictures. So it's like, if it's a field trip, if it's a slumber party, it doesn't matter. I need a disposable camera. And so I always had a ton of pictures, and I actually have, my dad loved to take pictures of us like doing stuff. He didn't like post pictures. He loved just like the natural ones. And so I have like all these photos of me as a kid, like scrapbooking, and I'm like surrounded in like photos and stickers and glue. And I think we need to just go back to that, like just back to the basics. And like a hype wall, that would be nice during the day, like when we're feeling the stress and all the things, just to like look up and be like, I have this awesome reminder of like all the good things. So I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure your kids would love to get in on that too, to help you do that.
Yes. Well, my older son is very into drawing. He's very good at drawing. He loves to draw anime. And I feel like he just gets like better and better. And he has one of those like really, really tall, like I swear this corkboard is as tall as he is. And it's just covered in like artwork over the years. And it's like a time capsule of like all the cool things that he's done. So I love that he likes to do like put stuff up, and he's got like little Polaroids all over it and stuff too of his friends. And
that's awesome.
Yeah. It's just like happy things. That's such a good idea. Amazing. All right. What else do we have?
I feel like we might have skipped one. Encourage networking, facilitate networking opportunities within the community, allowing members to connect, collaborate, and learn from each other. Did we skip that or no?
I think we just didn't talk about it too much. But it would be like, we talked about doing this a little bit when we were doing the Marketing 3.0 event, but like having a, I just totally lost my train of thought. It just went.
Well, like a networking opportunity. So,
yes. Oh, speed networking. Thank you.
Oh yeah, that was a really good idea.
Like, yeah, and I was really bummed that we didn't like have time to do that, and that we had to take that part out. I think that would be such a cool. I think Catapult actually does stuff like that sometimes. Like that exact thing. They do like rounds of that. So I feel like we just need to like, you and I especially, because Grant is great about putting himself out there and just like going to Catapult and posting up. But it's harder for us. We're moms. We have many things to manage. But I think it'd be so good for us to do something like that, just to meet other people in our local community, especially who we might be able to work with. I would love that. I think it'd be so fun. Like, can we do it together? Like, can we just be like, we'll be a duo and like, we'll talk to people together? I think it would just be so much more impactful.
Yeah, I think it would be fun because we could bounce off of each other.
Yes. Well, it's like the pressure is not as much. It's like if one of us was trying to do this by ourselves, it would be so awkward. Could you imagine if we're just sitting here talking to ourselves?
At least at this point. But you know how it is. Like once we do something one or two times, it gets so much easier. So I really don't think it's that far-fetched. Just think that like one of us could do the whole show by ourselves at one point.
Yes, you're right. We totally could. But yeah, I think giving people, it's kind of like going back to like giving them a platform to connect on. Book club. We would really like to open up our Spark Book Club to our community, and that's one thing I really hope that we do move forward with, because I think we all really got something special out of reading Tribes, and it would be so awesome to have that with just like a larger group of people. You know, it's just like, it's great that it's been me, you, and Grant and Megan. And it's just been like, I think a way for us to communicate about how we're going to grow and change in a way that just makes sense to all of us. And we just read, 10 pages a week, and we get to connect and talk about, our thoughts on it. So I think it's just such a good jumping off point. I would love to read Tribes with our community.
Yeah.
At this point, like, I know we already read it, but I would love to lead a book study on Tribes now that we have been through it and we know the material. Yeah, it would be so fun. And also, like, we just show people, like, just look through our books and look at what we highlighted. And like, I know we all have notes in the margins, and I think it's like highlighted and underlined and all that. So just like that. And at the end of the book, it does say to give your copy of the book to someone.
Oh, I missed that part. I think
it's like the last paragraph.
I think a lot of our people though would really enjoy that. We're doing that. We are.
Yeah, that's got to happen. And I would love for it to be in person, but even if it is just a virtual thing that we do once a week, before our regular huddle, then, getting people to jump on here with us, I think would be great as well. So yeah.
Awesome.
Nice. All right. I think we have a couple more here. Let's see. Empowering community leaders. So identify and empower community leaders who can moderate discussions, answer questions, and contribute positively to the community's growth. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Miguel says he would read along with our Tribes or our book club. Yes. Okay, so we already have one person.
See, I told you. And he knows people that read books. So
he knows people that read books.
I'm sure you know a few people that read books.
A couple, yeah. I think I know a couple.
And I think some of our clients would love this idea, just
yeah.
Like, I would love if Julie Murata would read with us. Or
oh my God, right. Can you imagine? I just want to pick Julie Murata's brain about like how she came to this like super interesting dynamic where she does this awesome like detailing, super badass with like vehicles and like big SUVs and all trucks and whatever, and then she also makes vintage clothing.
I love it.
It's the perfect mix. I think we all just have like such a crush on her and just love her so much because what she does is so cool. And I guess like I really never realized how diverse the small business community is until I started working with Spark, and like there is something for everyone. She is a detailer. She makes vintage clothing. Like, I'm sure there's a ton of people in the world that niche like really speaks to. Anyone who loves like old cars and stuff, they probably really appreciate what she does, especially because she does like the vintage inspired like pinup stuff, and there's a lot of like red and black and white, and so cool. Yeah. I think it's amazing.
And her son is her biggest like supporter too. I just love how he's in like all the pictures, and it's cool.
Yes. It's definitely a family business, and I can't believe she was on that one live with us when she was telling us how much it costs, like how much they had to invest in order to have their business here since they're from France. Like that is true dedication, and like you've got to respect somebody who hustles like Julie Murata. This is just so cool. Yeah. Amazing.
All right.
What's our last one? I think we got one more.
Hold contests and challenges. So organize contests or challenges that encourage community members to showcase their skills and creativity related to your products or services.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be so cool if we held like virtual marketing contests, like who showed up in our feed the most this week, and then we give them some kind of like reward for just like kicking ass at their marketing. I think that would be super cool. What other challenges or contests could we do? That's a really good one. Oh, like a social media or like Google Business challenge. Like we could challenge all of our clients to post on social media or Google Business or whatever every single day. That'd be kind of the same as what I just said, but like, I don't know, that could be, I feel like encouraging them to do the things that like we talk about doing and the things that we're doing for our marketing and just helping them like build those habits up could be like super, super helpful and beneficial. And I think people always in the beginning feel weird about posting and they're not sure what to post and it feels awkward. And I think like something like this where it's kind of informal might help them kind of get out of their heads a little bit and just do it. Just do it and you can 1% it later. Like that is definitely our motto. Like get something out there. And then once you get it in front of the community, your community, then you can make it better and make it a better fit. So
yeah, and then once they do it one time, then they can do it again, like you said, and make it 1% better. And I mean, I hear that from some of our clients. I was talking to David Bostrom, and he was asking about how could he make his blogs better with SEO, and then I just ghosted that real quick and told him some things, sent him an article.
Nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be one of my wins this week. But he was so grateful, and he's like, oh, I realized after looking at the article that you sent me that I have been missing some other things too. So he asked about one thing, but he was open to getting more information other than just that one answer to his question. And now he's 5%ing his blog posts.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that. And I love that we get those types of inquiries from people. It's not just, hey, can you do this request for me? Like they know that we're going to be able to give them the advice that they need. And I just love that they trust us. And I don't know, that's just such a good feeling, just knowing like people come to you for help.
Yeah.
And that's what a training community is. We're literally, that is what we're here for. And I was talking with Michelle from Energy M today because I was doing like her onboarding and all that and getting her project into queue. And I guess she had like emailed Grant like right before I emailed her. And she's like, oh, so should I just start? I know people who read them.
I know you do.
That's great, Grant. Please go back to your crypto stuff. Leave us alone. No, just kidding. We love and miss you. Yeah, now I lost my train of thought. Dang it. That's the worst, but it's fine.
But I think
Michelle, she was just saying like I answered one of her questions, but I kind of again like I went a little above and beyond like what the question was. So then she was like, oh, well now your process makes like total sense. Cause I was explaining the difference between like design phase, content phase, and then, like any extra phases like e-commerce or memberships or whatever. So it's just like, so glad that she said that. Like just, it felt good just to hear it. I know that I'm going to always try to go above and beyond for people, especially where I can. And so it always feels good to hear stuff like that. So I'm just glad, I know the process can be confusing too. So it always makes me feel so good when I know like she gets it. Mm-hmm. She's listening. So that's amazing.
Yeah. And just going back to what we were talking about, like contests and challenges, we could just make it really fun. Like here's a checklist, and once you've completed this checklist, let us know. And then if we get a bunch of people that completed it, we just put it all in a hat, and then we can pull their name live, and it'd be fun.
Yeah, I love that. That's such a good idea. Yes. So if you have hung around this long, you have heard our thoughts on how to build community, and we'd love to hear your feedback and what you're doing to build community. And we join you to come chat with us. We do this every other week. We're on Thursday mornings. We do a live huddle, and you can kind of see how our team communicates, how we celebrate wins, how we work through challenges and stucks. And really, we just like hype each other up, and we love to start our day. So if you want to start your day with that too, join us. And Jesse, do you have any final thoughts?
No, I'm just so grateful that we had some people popping in and leaving comments. Thank you, Miguel, my husband, and Grant, our fearless leader, for checking in today. And I'm excited that we had people on our show. And I think you did a great job leading today, Amber. I appreciate you.
I don't know. It's, I really am grateful for these opportunities because I feel like we always walk away just feeling like so much more professional. And like we said in the beginning, this was the first time Jesse and I have done this on our own. We're kind of used to Grant leading the pack, but we are both trying to really emerge as leaders ourselves in our own ways. So I appreciate you. And I'm so glad that I got to do this with you today.
Yeah.
It was so fun. Nice. All right, friends. Well, we're out of here. Take it easy and happy Wednesday.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.